Hello and salaam alaikum. Thank you all for joining today's press conference where CAIR and Jacobs and Crumplar are here to announce the filing of a lawsuit against the Delaware Department of Services for Children, Youth, and their Families, as well as individual employees of that state agency. This lawsuit is about a discrimination against 3 Muslim women, Madinah Brown, Shakia Thomas, Tia Mays. Tia is with us to discuss what happened and why what happened is illegal and terrible. We're joined as well by Zaina Galawanji, an attorney with CAIR National, as well as Patrick Gallagher from Jacobs and Crumplar. Tia is going to start and tell us a little bit about what happened.
Hi everyone, Salaam alaikum. I was offered an opportunity for employment at the Fair School for Boys in Delaware as a YRC. I went to work. I worked for 2 weeks of employment through my training. I took photos and through the training as well as my identification, I was able to wear my Islamic garb as well as my Islamic headpiece, my hijab. Once finished, towards the end of orientation, the director of the Fair School came and pulled me during my lunch break. She told me that I wasn't able to wear that. It was a uniform policy. I let her know that I know because of security problems, which was in reference to my overgarment, which is my dress. Never mentioned anything about my hijab, my head covering. I went to work my first day. I worked my first shift, my night throughout the day, no, throughout the night because I was third shift. There was no issues or concerns. My next day, I was stopped as I was leaving. One of the employees asked me, did they say I was able to wear that? I said, no one said nothing about it. The next night when I came in, they let me in the building, but they did not let me into the unit. And they had a packet for me, which was highlighted a few things and told me to go over it. The things that were highlighted was no head covering, no hat, nor no scarves on the head. I let the lady know that this wasn't a regular head covering. It wasn't a hat nor a scarf. It was religious. She said she understand that, and the supervisors will be out to talk to me. We went into a conference room. They let me know that they spoke with the director. She said it may have been miscommunication and I couldn't wear it. They asked me, was I able to take it off or was I willing to take it off? And I told them no. They said it was a laid back shift. It wasn't no one there but older people working. And I told them no. They said I can come in maybe the next day during first shift hours and work to make up for the hours that I was missing that night. I asked, would I be able to wear it? They said no. I told them, well, I will have to get back with them because I had options for them. They told me to call the next day. I spoke with the director, secretary, who I was in correspondence with before my hiring. I gave her options as far as a head covering. Can I wear a turban? Can I wear a different scarf? Something. She said no. I no longer heard from her again, and I returned their uniform.
Thank you, Tia. Tia was presented, as was Madinah Brown and Shakia Thomas, were presented with the option of maintaining their religious beliefs in the workplace, or being fired. And unfortunately for all 3 Muslim women, when presented with that choice, they were put in the position of of having to choose between their jobs and their religious beliefs, and that is an illegal choice to put employees in. Pat Gallagher is an attorney with Jacobs Crumplar. He's an attorney on this case. He's going to speak to us a little bit about the legal issue arise out of what Vinci did in this situation.
Good afternoon, Patrick Gallagher of Jacobs and Crumplar. First, I want to start out by saying this is a matter of great public importance, and Jacobs and Crumplar is honored to be working with CAIR on this matter. I've been asked to discuss a little bit of the legal issues that are going on. were filing claims under Title VII for disparate treatment, hostile work environment, and failure to accommodate on the basis of both religion, that being the plaintiff's Muslim religion, and also on their gender, as hijab is typically a scarf worn by Muslim women. Plaintiff Madinah Brown also has a claim for retaliation under Title VII. We're also filing claims for constructive discharge, which basically means that they did not quit. They quit because they were forced out. The situation became so intolerable that they were forced to resign. Ms. Brown has a claim also for retaliation under FMLA, which is the Family and Medical Leave Act. We're also asserting some constitutional claims under the Free Exercise Clause of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, as well as claims for violation of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment on the basis of both religion and gender, again, going back to the hijab being a headscarf worn to show devotion to the Muslim faith by women. So it's a discrimination of religion and gender. And that's a brief overview of the counts that were included in the complaint today that was filed.
Thanks, Pat. Zaina, who's an attorney with CAIR National, is going to give us a little bit of context for these types of employment discrimination claims that are unfortunately all too common in the Muslim community.
Thank you. And thank you, Pat, for working with us on this. Thank you, Tia, for sharing what happened. And so I just, want to share this is unfortunately a trend and something that we see all the time at CAIR. There is an uptick of Muslim women who are being fired from their jobs because of their hijabs. Employers are using certain rationales as covers for their motives, which are discriminatory. Here we know that any defense they're going to raise is not going to be a legitimate defense. One of our plaintiffs, Tia, actually worked at other facilities where her hijab wasn't an issue, where they did not have policies prohibiting her hijab. She worked there for approximately 3 years at different facilities. The US Army, the Air Force, and police departments across the country have policies allowing Muslim women to wear the hijab. So any defense that defendants are going to provide is going to be illegitimate and just a cover for discrimination.
Thanks so much, Zaina. Just a little less than a year ago, when Madinah Brown, one of the plaintiffs, was being denied a religious accommodation to wear hijab, Defendant Cannon, a state employee, yelled at Ms. Brown as she was leaving, quote, "You're looking like a terrorist," unquote. These types of irrational, inexplicable policies end up in the final analysis reflecting the anti-Muslim sentiment that is unfortunately all too common in our country today. And it's unfortunate, but it seems to be the case that this Delaware state agency is not fulfilling its obligations under either the federal Constitution or Title VII, and we look to the courts to correct this wrong, and we expect that these claims by Tia, by Shakia, and by Madinah will not only vindicate the claims that they have, but make it easier in the future for other Muslim women to adhere to their religious beliefs in the workplace. Thank you all for joining us. If any reporters have any additional questions for us or would like some of the underlying case documents, please reach out to CAIR and we'll provide those documents for us. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for joining. Take care.